Part 1. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 1. 9 Hells. How dare you imprison me, immortal Emperor Xiantian? Even if I explode my Danshan, I will destroy this miserable place. Give it to me and destroy it. Jiangbei. First People's Hospital, Special Ward. A young man in a hospital gown suddenly sat up, looking crazy. But when he saw the surrounding environment clearly, the young man's face was suddenly filled with astonishment, but more importantly, he was happy. This is Earth. I, the immortal Emperor Xiantian, am back. Haha. I didn't expect that by eradicating the 9 nether hells, I would be able to return to Earth. It's so cool. This is the most correct decision I have ever made in my 100,000 years of cultivation. It's good, it's good. In his excitement, immortal Emperor Xiantian found that his strength that shook the world had disappeared. There were more than a dozen men in uniform standing guard next to them. Seeing that he woke up, the men in military uniforms all cheered up and watched him warily. Am I in danger when I watch me doing knitting like this? Immortal Emperor Xiantian was a little confused, but after digesting the memory in his mind, he was dumbfounded. The owner of this body is Su Yang, who comes from the most wealthy family in Jiangbei, and is involved in everything from food, drink, prostitution, and gambling. Especially when it comes to women, young Master Su never controls himself. If he likes her, he will chase her. If she is too soft, he will be tough. In the end, a saying spread among Jiangbei aristocratic circles: Mr. Su would take 2 bites of a female mosquito whenever he saw one. Forget it, but 2 days ago, young Master Su did something earth-shattering. Because he didn't want to go to school, the day before school started, this tough guy actually contacted 50 bulldozers and leveled the school overnight. In order to enjoy the pleasure of bulldozing the school, this idiot even drove the bulldozer himself and fought on the front line. As a result, he was accidentally flooded by construction debris and burped. Tearing down the school, isn't it bio? This stupid thing. Besides, you just pushed me, and you still went over to kill me. You're really stupid. No, if I scold him, wouldn't it be equivalent to scolding myself? You can't scold, you can't scold. Immortal Emperor Xiantian had a dark face. Although he disliked it, he had to accept Su Yang's identity. From today on, he is young Master Su. Puff. At this moment, a man in military uniform next to him suddenly inserted a needle into Su Yang's body. What's going on? Before Su Yang could react, he passed out directly on the hospital bed, his consciousness beginning to blur. The eldest young master compared school to hell. When he woke up, he kept saying that he was a good pusher and had violent tendencies. He must not be let go. The anesthetic has been injected. The head of the family has ordered that the eldest young master be escorted back to the Su family immediately after he regains consciousness. Half an hour later. Su family manor. The head of the family, Su Shenbing, looked at Su Yang lying on the bed, feeling furious in his heart. I'm so angry, you bastard. At this time, a young man in a suit and leather shoes walked in and asked, Father, what made you so angry? This man has a handsome face, wears gold-rimmed glasses, and looks elegant. His name is Su Jinghan, he is the adopted son of Su Shenbing, and he is currently mainly responsible for the Su family's business. Su Yang woke up earlier. Su Shenbing suppressed his anger and replied. Brother has woken up. Su Jinghan glanced at Su Yang on the bed, with a flash of coldness and doubt in his eyes, which seemed to say impossible. But on the surface, he was concerned and asked, Father, is my eldest brother okay? Why did he fall asleep again? Xiaoting injected him with anesthetic. This Xiaoting is so brave. As the captain of the Su family's secret guard, he dares to anesthetize the eldest young master, Su Jinghan said angrily. I asked Xiaoting to do this, he was just following orders. Ah, foster father, why? Why? Su Shenbing gritted his teeth and said, this kid Su Yang, when he woke up, he said that the school was hell, a place of misery and evil. He also said that raising the school was the most correct thing he had ever done. Damn it, this is the first time I've ever heard of someone hating school so much. How could a person like him be successful in the future? How could I have given birth to such a thing? Su Shenbing hated iron and said angrily, if I had known this, I should have suppressed him 20 years ago to avoid ruining the Su family's family tradition. At this time, Su Yang, who was lying on the bed, was unhappy. When he first arrived at Su's house, he had already woken up. After all, he was the soul of the immortal emperor, and mere anesthetics were nothing. However, Su Yang didn't understand the situation clearly, so he pretended to sleep for a while. Also, he had a doubt in his mind. Since young Master Su dared to drive a bulldozer before, there must have been security measures, so how could he be affected? He is a playboy, but he is not stupid. This matter is definitely not that simple. Su Yang guessed that someone might have deliberately arranged it to get rid of young Master Su. As expected, Su Yang just caught a hint of resentment and unwillingness in Su Jinghan's eyes. Did he design all of this? Su Yang frowned, looking for memories about the school bulldozing incident, and heard that Su Shenbing was trying to hold him back. Damn it! Hold it back. Look, everyone, is this what a biological father should say? Su Yang suddenly became unhappy. He sat up and said with a dark face, Dad, tiger poison cannot eat its seeds. Swish. In an instant, Su Shenbing and Su Jinghan both looked over. Brother, you're awake. Su Jinghan pushed the gold-rimmed mirror frame and said excitedly, that's great, I knew you were a lucky person. Is it? Why do I think you want me to die early? Little brat. At this time, Su Shenbing gritted his teeth and said, you finally woke up. If I don't beat you to pieces today, I will eat shit. Dad, you are not allowed to cheat on food or drink, Su Yang said seriously. Cheating to eat and drink. What the hell? Su Shenbing was furious, took out his belt and walked towards Su Yang. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 2. Dad, stop pretending, you don't dare to hit me, otherwise my sister will definitely not let you go when she comes back, Su Yang said calmly. In addition to Su Yang, Su Shenbing also has a daughter. Su Jingguo, Su Yang's biological sister, was 10 years older than him. She had loved Su Yang very much since childhood. In the Su family, Su Yang is an uneducated waste. But Su Jingguo is different. Her martial arts talent is astonishing. She has mastered Su Shenbing's true biography, and is even better than her master. As early as 5 years ago, Su Jingguo joined the army as a woman, conquered the East and West, and gained glory. The name of the heroine god of war resounded throughout China, and the Su family rose to a higher level and became the undoubted #1 wealthy family in Jiangbei. The reason why young Master Su is confident is because he has the support of Su Jingguo. Su Jingguo is a brother-in-law, and her love for young Master Su is so paranoid that no matter who offends Su Yang, they will not have a good time, not even Su Shenbing. I remember that a few years ago, Su Yang got into a big trouble and gave his fiancée's best friend to him after drinking. Anyway, it made a big fuss. In anger, Su Shenbing used a belt to beat Su Yang's skin to pieces. Su Jingguo came back after hearing the news and asked Su Shenbing to have a discussion. As a result, Su Shenbing didn't go out for 3 days. It was said that his nose and face were bruised and swollen, and he was embarrassed to see anyone. Afterwards, Su Jingguo said, Su Shenbing, if you dare to hit my brother again, I will smash your head. From then on, Su Shenbing didn't dare to touch Su Yang again. Recalling what happened that year, Su Shenbing couldn't help but shudder and silently put the belt away. There was nothing he could do. He was afraid of competing with his daughter. It felt too scary. Little bastard, don't always scare me with women. Regarding your mother's death, your sister has misunderstood me. When I clarify, I will definitely give you a good beating. Also, you don't need to go out these days, and you don't need to eat. When will you bow your head to me and admit your mistake? When will you have food to eat? Jing Han, let's go and let him reflect on it. After leaving a few words, Su Shenbing led Su Jing Han out of the room. I didn't expect my sister to be such a strong deterrent. It's so cool. After the two left, Su Yang's eyes were sharp. However, the truth is to be strong. Su Jing Han, this kid has hidden it deep enough. The memory in Su Yang's mind was intermittent, and at this moment he remembered something. The idea of raising the school was proposed by Su Jing Han in a joking tone. At that time, Su Yang complained that school was hard and tiring, and did not want to go to school to suffer. He asked Su Jing Han how he could not go to school. Because it was Su Shenbing's intention to send Su Yang to school, Su Jing Han had no other solution, so he joked that if the school was leveled, the school would not open. He does not mean that. Young Master Su really thought about it and immediately arranged for someone to contact the bulldozers, and the school was leveled that night. However, there was a bulldozer driver who had a stomachache at that time. Young Master Su didn't want to waste time or be stopped by others, so he went up and started driving. As a result, he was crushed under the rubble and seriously injured. He was sent to the hospital for 2 days of rescue and finally died. Looking at the whole thing together, it should be closely related to Su Jing Han, and the purpose is also very simple. Su Shenbing only has one son, Su Yang, and Su Jingguo is a woman. She will get married sooner or later and cannot take over the Su family. As long as Su Yang dies, Su Jing Han will naturally become the heir to the Su family. But he never expected that he would send away the dandy young man Su Yang, but instead invite the Xiantian immortal Emperor Su Yang. It's just a small character, nothing to be afraid of. The top priority is to regain strength first. This body is too rubbish. It has been drained by wine and sex, making me feel no sense of security at all. Thinking of this, Su Yang sat cross-legged on the bed and began to practice the skills he had obtained in his previous life. But soon, he made a shocking discovery and was instantly ecstatic. 9 nether prison suppressing techniques. Damn it, it's actually the 9 nether prison suppressing technique. This is a super grade technique that countless powerful people in the immortal realm can only ask for. It once caused competition among the 10 immortal emperors, but in the end no one got it. Why does it appear in my mind? 9 nether hell, 9 nether prison suppressing technique. Is this technique related to 9 nether hell? I destroyed the 9 nether hell, so I got the 9 nether hell suppressing technique. Haha, I am a blessing in disguise. I will start with the 9 nether prison suppressing technique and practice it again. When I return to the position of immortal emperor, I will definitely be able to sweep the immortal world. Su Yang was so excited that he immediately closed his eyes and studied the Juya prison suppression technique. This sitting lasts all day and night. At this time, Su Shenbing's room. Xiaoting, what happened to that good-for-nothing Su Yang? Did he sneak out? Su Shenbing asked. Reporting to the head of the family, the eldest young master is still in the room. Huh? Why did he become obedient this time? Su Shenbing asked in confusion. Did this little brat change his gender? Father, my eldest brother hasn't eaten all day and night. He's in critical condition. It's better to send someone to bring some food in. Su Jing Han next to him said with concern. No, just starve him. I know my son, this loser won't last long. Su Shenbing refused, believing that Su Yang was just pretending. 3 days later, Su Yang still did not leave the room, concentrating on practicing the Juya prison suppression technique. What, For 4 whole days, Su Yang was still in the room and didn't eat a bite. You said he was sitting cross-legged, as if he was fasting. Humph, what's wrong with this bastard? Jing Han, go and let him out. Let him wander as far away as possible. I don't want to see him in the near future. Su Shenbing said impatiently. In fact, he was worried about Su Yang's health. Although young Master Su is useless, he is Su Shenbing's flesh and blood after all, so there is no reason to care. However, as soon as Su Jinghan arrived outside Su Yang's door, Su Yang noticed it. Don't come in. Go tell my dad that I'm losing weight and ask him not to disturb me. Su Yang was concentrating on practicing and found any reason to drive Su Jinghan away. Lose weight. Fuck him, lose some weight. I called him a loser in public. He is trying to compete with me. After Su Shenbing learned about it, he slammed the table hard and said through gritted teeth, "Little bastard, if you don't come out or eat, okay, I'll play with you for real." Xiaoting, bring 10 secret guards and completely seal off Su Yang's room. If he doesn't bow his head and admit his mistake, he won't even think about coming out, and he won't even think about taking a bite of food. Su Shenbing said he was harsh, but in fact he loved Su Yang very much, but he expressed his fatherly love in a different way. He had previously placed Su Yang in solitary confinement, but he only said so and did not send anyone to guard him. As Su Shenbing said, he understands his son. If Su Shenbing knew that Su Yang was dishonest, he would definitely sneak out and not suffer in the room. But this time he took it seriously and blocked the room directly. Su Yang couldn't escape even if he wanted to. Su Yang naturally noticed the hidden guards outside, but ignored them and continued practicing. In his previous life, he was the Xiantian Immortal Emperor and practiced divine skills. Although it was not as complicated as the 9 nether prison suppression technique, it was not something that could be practiced casually. With the experience of the previous life, Su Yang practiced the 9 nether prison suppressing technique much faster, but it still needed a few days. In the blink of an eye, 3 more days passed. At this moment, Su Shenbing panicked. It's been 7 days. Su Yang hasn't had a sip of water or a grain of rice. Could he have fainted from hunger? Damn it, what on earth is he going to do? Does he want to starve himself to death? It's so annoying day by day. This tough guy can't let me save my worries. Su Shenbing couldn't help it anymore and wanted to go to Su Yang's room to see his son's current condition. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 3. At this moment. Inside the room. The 9 nether prison suppressing technique has a total of 12 levels. It took me 7 days to practice the first level, and my realm has reached the first level of Qi training. Su Yang sat cross-legged on the bed, spread his hands, and a ball of spiritual energy appeared in his palm. The spiritual energy of the earth is too thin. If I were in the fairy world, I would be able to condense the golden elixir in 7 days. But fortunately, the first level of Qi training is enough. At least the secret guards outside the door do not pose a threat to me. I will slowly improve my strength in the future. Boom. At this time, the room was suddenly pushed open. Su Yang noticed it in advance, put away the spiritual energy in his palm, took a closer look, and smiled softly. Dad, why are you here? I'm here to see what kind of plane you're working on. Su Shenbing said with a dark face, little bastard, you haven't eaten for a week, you must feel bad. If you admit your mistake to me now, I will let you out. Admit your mistake. Su Yang got out of bed and showed a smile. That's impossible. I will never admit my mistake in this life. Dad, if you want to lock me up, just lock me up. I don't want to go out anyway. Su Yang was telling the truth. Improving his strength was the most important thing at the moment, and practicing in seclusion was just what he wanted. Can you bear it without going out for 7 days? Su Yang responded calmly. Usually, his retreat was calculated on a yearly basis. If he just sat down and took a nap, it would last 10 or 20 years. In comparison, 7 days was too short. Damn it, you boy must have been stunned by the construction debris. Before, if I didn't go to a high-end club to find a girl for 2 days, you would be jumping around in anxiety. Now you have been holding it in for a week. Are you still my son? Su Shenbing's face was filled with disbelief. Su Yang thought for a while, and now that his strength is not strong enough, young Master Su's character still needs to be established, which can reduce a lot of unnecessary troubles. Little bastard, are you still competing with me? At this time, Su Shenbing suddenly said. Right. Su Yang got off the donkey and said, Dad, why am I your son too? You call me a waste every day, call me a little brat, and put me in solitary confinement and don't let me eat. I'm not happy. Fuck you, what are you doing? What's wrong with scolding you? Get out of here, don't be an eyesore here, Su Shenbing said with hatred. I won't get out. If you want to lock me up, lock me up. If you want me out, I have to go out. Don't I, young Master Su, have no face? Su Yang raised his eyebrows. Damn it, you kid, don't touch your nose and face. If you don't want to go out, just stay in the room forever. Okay, you can starve me to death. Anyway, I will get justice for me when I come back. Hearing Su Yang mention his sister, Su Shenbing panicked and gritted his teeth and said, Damn it, little bastard, tell me what you will do before you are willing to go out. Hey, it's simple, give me 1 million, and all my pocket money will be used to hire a bulldozer. Nima, you've been waiting for me here for a long time. No wonder you haven't sneaked out in the past few days. It turns out there is no money in the card. Su Shenbing thought his son had changed his gender, so he held it in for 7 days without sneaking away to a high-end club. He never expected that it was not the room that trapped this good-for-nothing, but poverty. To be honest, Su Shenbing was a little disappointed. He was his biological son, and he should have taken over the Su family and led the family to prosperity. But what the hell, young Master Su is an out-and-out playboy. How can a father not be disappointed? However, Su Shenbing's disappointment with Su Yang turned into despair, so he simply gave him 1 million to let Su Yang get away as far as he wanted. After Su Yang left, Su Shenbing ordered Xiaoting next to him, this kid even dares to destroy the school. There is no guarantee that he will do something more extreme. Go and keep an eye on him secretly and report his whereabouts to me at any time. Yes. Xiaoting received the order, and then the figure disappeared. Xiaoting once drank blood with Su Shenbing on the battlefield, and was Su Shenbing's most proud subordinate. Now he serves as the captain of the Su family's secret guard, and his strength is unfathomable. Su Shenbing said he sent him to keep an eye on Su Yang to prevent Su Yang from doing something extreme, but in fact he was to protect Su Yang. Su Shenbing was such a person. As soon as the incident of raising the school came out, he sensed a hint of conspiracy and had already sent someone to investigate secretly. Su Yang didn't know if there were cultivators on Earth. The most important thing at the moment was to improve his strength. This body is very stretchy, so Su Yang plans to get some medicinal materials to cleanse the essence and cut the marrow, and restore kidney function at the same time. There is no way, the original host indulged too much and the kidneys were overwhelmed. If it is not repaired as soon as possible, sooner or later it will be unable to lift. So Su Yang went straight to the largest pharmacy in Jiangbei. As for Xiaoting hiding in the dark, he was naturally aware of it, but he just didn't point it out. Not long after, Su Yang came to the pharmacy and bought a lot of traditional Chinese medicine to strengthen yang and nourish the kidneys, such as actinolite, dodder, sheep fire leaf, wolfberry, and so on. Originally, Young Master Su had planned to buy a tiger whip, but now tigers are protected animals and are not sold in pharmacies, so he had no choice but to replace them with artificially bred deer whip. The effect is a bit worse, but it is not harmful. In the previous life, Su Yang was able to ascend to the throne of immortal emperor, all thanks to his accomplishments in refining elixirs and formations. Although the medicinal materials bought in pharmacies are very common, they can play a huge role in his hands. In order to maintain the character of the playboy, Su Yang did not go home after buying the medicinal materials. Instead, based on his memory, he went to the largest high-end club in Jiangbei, Jade Finger Wonderland. Xiaoting, why don't you go back? Do you want to follow me to observe my operations and secretly learn techniques? Su Yang said lightly to the air before entering the club. Young Master Su wanted to open a private room in a high-end club and concentrate on refining elixirs, so he naturally wanted to drive Xiaoting away to avoid exposing himself. After noticing Xiaoting leaving, Su Yang quickly walked into the Jade Finger Wonderland with a large bag of medicinal materials. When young Master Su arrived, the Jade Finger Wonderland immediately exploded, with more than a dozen sexy technicians swarming over. Looking at all the health clubs in Jiangbei, who doesn't know Mr. Su and who doesn't know that Mr. Su spends a lot of money? Which technician in this field doesn't want to spend a spring night with Mr. Su? The original host is really intolerant of both meat and vegetables, and he can handle this kind of thing. Su Yang dismissed these technicians, but he still opened a supreme box and selected two technicians, one with big breasts and the other, also with big breasts. Young Master Su, I heard that you bulldozed the school. You are so handsome. You are the only one in Jiangbei who dares to do this. That's for sure. Young Master Su is the #1 young man in Jiangbei. It's nothing to bulldoze the school. Young Master Su, I have long admired you. I will definitely serve you well tonight. When they arrived at the box, two beautiful technicians came over and clung to Su Yang's body like octopuses. However, Su Yang waved his hand, and the next second both of them fell unconscious on the ground. It's simply ridiculous. People like you still want to get the body of this immortal emperor. Su Yang only glanced at the two of them, then withdrew his gaze and began to refine the elixir. The marrow cleansing pill and the kidney nourishing pill are only entry-level pills. Based on Su Yang's experience, they can be refined without a pill furnace, but it's just a little more troublesome. On the other side, Xiaoting returned to the Su family manor and reported the news to Su Shenbing. What are you talking about? That loser actually noticed that you were following him. Su Shenbing said in surprise, seriously, Xiaoting, you didn't lie. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 4. Reporting to the master of the family, it's absolutely true, Xiaoting responded truthfully. This is impossible. You have already mastered Huajing. You can count on one hand all the people in Jiangbei who are better than you. How could Su Yang discover your whereabouts? Su Shenbing couldn't help but ask, where is that kid at this moment? In Jade Finger Wonderland, Xiaoting continued, the eldest young master bought a lot of medicinal materials, and then took the medicinal materials to Jade Finger Wonderland. This is the medicine list. Medicine. Su Shenbing took the medicine list and looked at it, and he was furious. Actinolite, daughter, deer penis, damn, they are all aphrodisiacs. This is the first time I've heard of someone taking aphrodisiacs to a high-end club. Is he planning to take out aphrodisiacs and nourish them at the same time? What a special talent. Su Shenbing gritted his teeth angrily, this bitch is getting more and more useless, and my old face has completely disgraced him. Master, please don't get angry. I feel that the eldest young master is different from before. He can sense my presence, so he must. Xiaoting wanted to comfort Su Shenbing. Bullshit, that kid is definitely deceived. He guessed that I would send someone to follow him. Why don't you use this intelligence to study? Hey, My family is unlucky. Su Shenbing sighed, his eyes full of disappointment. He originally thought that his son had changed after waking up, but when he heard that young Master Su was taking aphrodisiacs to a high-end club, he suddenly realized how ridiculous he was before. How can a loser who has been a playboy for 20 years change on the spur of the moment? Father, divine Dr. Hua is here. At this time, Su Jinghan suddenly walked in with an old man who was over 60 years old. Su Jinghan lowered half of his body to guide the 60-year-old man, showing great respect to him. Miracle Dr. Hua. Su Shenbing stood up with a smile, walked over to say hello to the old man in his 60s, then turned his eyes to Su Jinghan and reprimanded, Jinghan, divine Dr. Hua has a distinguished status. When he comes to the Su family, I, as the head of the family, must go out to greet him. This is to Hua the respect of a miracle doctor, who asked you to. Master Su, don't be so polite. Second young Master Su was going to come in and inform you, but I stopped him. I have a close relationship with your old man, so there is no need to be so outspoken. Hua Shimiao continued, where is Mr. Su? The top priority now is to stabilize Mr. Su's condition. Divine Dr. Hua is open, please come this way. When the old man was mentioned, Su Shenbing's face became serious and he hurriedly led the way for Hua Shimiao. The old man of the Su family is called Su Qinqin, and he is now over 90. During the war years, Su Qinqin was called up to join the army. With his iron fist, he conquered half of China and established a peaceful and prosperous era. After the war, he shed his glory, retired and lived in seclusion in Jiangbei. In the Su family, his words are the best. It is no exaggeration to say that he is the backbone of the Su family. Even Su Jingguo was in awe of Su Qinqin. Su Jingguo dared to ask her father Su Shenbing to compete, but she did not dare to make a mistake in front of Su Qinqin. In the entire Su family, only Su Qinqin can control Su Jingguo, which also makes Su eldest son afraid of Su Qinqin. Every time he meets his grandfather, he puts down his playboy attitude and behaves like a good baby. Su Qinqin had also heard about Su Yang's deeds, but he was just too lazy to pay attention to it. Because Su Yang has no knowledge and skills, and has no martial arts talent, he is ultimately a loser and has no need to discipline him. Anyone who knows the Su family knows that Su Qinqin is the god of the Su family. As long as Su Qinqin does not die, the Su family will always be prosperous. However, recently, Su Qinqin's health had problems. His old injuries recurred and he couldn't even get out of bed. This made Su Shenbing extremely anxious and hurriedly invited the miracle doctor Hua Shimiao. Master Su, what are you holding in your hand? Just as he was about to go see Su Qinqin, Hua Shimiao suddenly saw the medicine list in Su Shenbing's hand, and immediately said dissatisfied, you don't need to see a second doctor for one disease. Master Su, since you have already hired someone to treat me, I won't interfere, goodbye. Wait a minute, divine Dr. Hua, you misunderstood. Su Shenbing handed over the medicine list and explained at the same time, I didn't invite anyone. These are some Chinese medicines that the dog picked up randomly. If you don't believe it, you can take a look. Hua Shimiao took the medicine order and glanced at it casually, but the next moment his eyes lit up. He studied it attentively for a few minutes, and then clapped his hands excitedly. 3 coins of actinolite, paired with 2 coins of daughter, and the weight of sheep fire leaf is just right, wonderful. Hua Shimiao, who is over 60 years old, has gray hair, but his eyes are shining at this moment. He can't help but ask, Master Su, may I ask who wrote the prescription for young Master Ling? There shouldn't be anyone, he grabbed the medicine randomly. Impossible, absolutely impossible. This is a top-notch nourishing prescription. It is gentle, harmless to the body, and has miraculous effects. Anyone who can prescribe such a prescription must have higher medical skills than me, Hua Shimiao was sure. Road. Ah, but Kwanzi has never been in contact with a doctor. He just grabbed him casually. That loser indulged in too much sex. He went to the club again today. He was probably worried about his health, so he grabbed some nourishing Chinese medicine. Su Shenbing said, even if this prescription is really miraculous, it is definitely a blind cat meeting a dead mouse. Is it luck? Hua Shimiao smiled with interest. Master Su, I must meet Mr. Ling if I have the chance. He is just an ignorant waste. It is a complete waste of your time to meet him. Su Shenbing said disdainfully, and then led Hua Shimiao to the old man's residence. It wasn't until night fell that the two of them came out of Mr. Su's room. Dr. Hua, how is my father's condition? Su Shenbing asked with concern. It's barely stable. The old man was severely injured when he was young. If it were an ordinary person, he would have gone to the West. That is to say, the old man has profound skills and has survived until now. Hua Shimiao sighed and responded, I can only treat the symptoms, not the root cause. I'm afraid no one in the world can completely cure me. Master Su, you have to be mentally prepared. When Su Shenbing heard this, he nodded sadly and turned to request, Miracle Dr. Hua, you know very well the importance of the old man to the Su family, so I ask Dr. Hua to keep the old man's condition a secret for the time being. Don't worry, I know what to say and what not to say. Hua Shimiao agreed. We have the miracle Dr. Le Hua. You're welcome. Hua Shimiao looked around and then asked, Master Su, it's already night, and Master Ling hasn't come home yet. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 5. That useless thing, it's good if he can sleep at home for 10 of the 365 days a year. He usually spends the night outside. Su Shenbing asked curiously, Mr. Hua, why are you asking about him? Do you think he has a talent for medicine? I have told you that he grabbed that prescription casually. I guess he doesn't even know what to do with it. I can't even recognize the names of the medicinal materials. Haha, I just asked casually. Hua Shimiao smiled and said, by the way, I heard that Mr. Ling drove a bulldozer and bulldozed the school. Upon hearing this, Su Shenbing's face darkened instantly. He felt extremely embarrassed and said awkwardly, well, you are such a dandy, making Dr. Hua laugh. It's normal for young people to do some incredible things. Head of the Su family, what plans do you have for Mr. Ling in the future? I have completely despaired of him. I might as well let him eat, drink and have fun. Su Shenbing said truthfully. Master Su, you can't say that. Jade cannot be used without polishing. Young Master Ling just lacks polishing. You should still send him to school. Go to school. Su Shenbing smiled bitterly. He dared to bulldoze a century-old prestigious school. Which school dares to accept him now? I am currently a professor at Bauhinia University and have a certain say. Let's do this, Master Su. I will make arrangements for the young master to enter the university. Hua Shimiao said with a smile, if young Master Ling has no talent, I can help you solve your problem so that young Master Ling can go to school. If he is talented, I will definitely take him into my section. I hope that Master Su will not prevent. Bauhinia University, located in Jiangbei, is the top medical school in China. The principal is a stubborn old antique. Some time ago, Su Shenbing spent money to send Su Yang to Bauhinia University, but was decisively rejected. Fortunately, I was rejected, otherwise the Bauhinia Medical College would have been demolished. This prestigious school brings together talents from all over the country and has countless experimental results and data. If he was really pushed away, the consequences would be disastrous. I'm afraid Mr. Su wouldn't be able to save Su Yang even if he came forward. Su Shenbing was deeply grateful for this. At this moment, Su Shenbing was a little confused. Did his good-for-nothing son have a chance to enter Bauhinia University? Dr. Hua values Su Yang so much, maybe that bastard really has a talent for medicine. Master Su, what do you think? Hua Shimiao asked. Su Shenbing came back to his senses and smiled hurriedly. Of course it's no problem, I just need to trouble Dr. Hua. No trouble. Hua Shimiao smiled and said, don't forget to ask Mr. Ling to report to school tomorrow. It's getting late, so I'll go first. Divine Dr. Hua, walk slowly. After sending Hua Shimiao away, Su Shenbing was a little excited. I haven't liked reading since I was a child, and I have no education. I didn't expect to have a college student in my family. Haha, this kid Su Yang has finally made me look good. With the strength of the Su family, even if Su Yang did not take the college entrance examination, universities across the country would basically be chosen at will. However, this was an ancestral conspiracy, and it was not a glorious thing after all, so Su Shenbing had no feelings about Su Yang being admitted to the university. But now, his son has inexplicably been favored by the Chinese miracle doctor. He can go to university without using the family's influence, and it is also the famous Bauhinia University in the country. This makes Su Shenbing a little proud, so much so that he even ignores the fact that his son is a waste. In fact, it's not Su Shenbing's fault. Su Yang has never let him raise his head since he was a child. Just now in front of divine Dr. Hua, although he said with disgust on his face that Su Yang had randomly grabbed the prescription, he felt that it was more respectable in his heart. If your disappointment in a person reaches its peak, then the other person's little achievements can be infinitely magnified. This is how Su Shenbing feels now. Xiaoting, bring Su Yang over from the high-end club to me immediately. I have something to ask him. Forget it, that kid has been holding it in for 7 days. It's really difficult for him. Let him feel comfortable for a night first. The old man hasn't gone to bed yet and needs someone to accompany him. I want to go there. Let Su Yang come home as soon as possible. Find me. Su Shenbing ordered to go down, then turned around and went to Su Qianqian to perform his filial piety. In the afternoon, Su Yang refined the marrow cleansing pill and the kidney nourishing pill, which he had already eaten. At this time, he was sitting cross-legged, spiritual energy surging around his body, and yellowish filth was constantly discharged from his body. This continued for half an hour before stopping. On the surface, the current Su Yang is no different from his previous image, but in reality, it is very different. In the past, his body was thin and his face was pale. At first glance, he looked like an overindulgent playboy. But at this moment, Su Yang was the type who looked thin when dressed but fleshy when undressed. His face was also colored, especially his eyes, which were sharp and wise. If you look closely, he looked completely different from before. The essence and marrow cleansing was successful, and the kidney water is extremely sufficient. It's finally done. Su Yang stood up, stretched his muscles, then took off his clothes and went to the bathroom to take a shower. 5 minutes later, he walked out wrapped in a bath towel. Young Master Wang, young Master Su is working inside. You can't go in. If you make young Master Su unhappy, it will be troublesome. Don't let me get into trouble. Go away, I and young Master Su are so good that we wear the same pair of underpants and take baths together every now and then. Now what's wrong with watching him compete with a beautiful technician in martial arts? At this moment, a familiar voice came from outside the box, and then a short young man rushed in regardless of dissuasion. Young Master Su, my dad said he was going to beat me to death, and you still gave me a ridiculous pedicure. Please help me, little brother. The short young man is about 1.6 meters tall, with a thin build and sinister eyebrows, looking like a monkey. His name is Wang Fugui, the eldest son of the Wang family, one of the 4 major families in Jiangbei. He is the same as young Master Su. He has followed young Master Su as his little brother since he was a child. He will hit wherever young Master Su points. He is very obedient. When Su Yang saw Wang Fugui, Memories of him instantly flooded into his mind. The original host arranged for this bulldozer to be contacted by Wang Fuegui. Is this person colluding with Su Jinghan? Su Yang frowned, looked at Wang Fuegui carefully, and sorted out the memories in his mind. Damn it, young Master Su, it's been too much since I haven't seen you for a few days. Tell me honestly, have you taken any tonic? Okay, it's useless for me to think of you as a good brother, good big brother. You have such powerful medicine and you didn't tell me. The baby is unhappy. Wait, there is, on the bed. After Wang Fuegui entered the box, he took a quick look and his expression suddenly froze. When he realized what he was doing, he was stunned in shock. Grass. 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 Wang Fuegui shouted 3 times, his small eyes always staring at the bed not far away. What's the matter? What's all the fuss about? Su Yang regained his concentration and frowned. Whoa Mr. Su is so awesome. I admire you so much. Wang Fuegui said with admiration, young Master Su, from now on you are no longer the #1 dude in Jiangbei. I, Wang Fuegui, would like to call you the #1 fierce man in Jiangbei. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 6. Damn it. Shit, is it out? Damn it, those are the impurities excreted by me after washing the essence and chopping the marrow. How dare you think of it? Sure enough, birds of a feather flock together, and young Master Su's younger brother is a really talented person. Su Yang said with a dark face, fuck you, who told you that's shit? Isn't the yellow shit? Young Master Su, stop pretending, you can't hide it from me. Wang Fuegui quickly approached Su Yang and asked excitedly, young Master Su, please tell me what medicine you are taking. It's really exciting. I want to try it too. After Wang Fuegui entered the box, he did not close the door. Many people were watching. Su Yang felt very embarrassed and glared at Wang Fuegui fiercely. Then he turned to look at the middle-aged man next to him and ordered, you are the manager here. I want to explain that the things on the bed are not shit. You have to believe it. Okay, I definitely believe what Mr. Su said, the manager responded in a low voice. Well, thank you for your trust. This made Mr. Su feel very comfortable. The more he looked at the manager, the more he liked him. He said calmly, in this case, let everyone disperse quickly and stop blocking the door. It's no problem, it's just, Mr. Su, our club has rules and regulations and we cannot abuse technicians. Please be gentler next time, otherwise it will be very difficult for me. The manager plucked up the courage and whispered. Haha, Mr. Su is so cool, he plays so crazy. Young Master Su, the most powerful man, you can't accept it? Young Master Su, can you teach me your experience? I want to be as fierce as you. People around him started joking. Fuck, you still don't believe me after doing this for a long time. If you dip your crotch into sauce, it's either shit or shit. Fuck you. Su Yang's face turned completely dark, and he simply refused to explain. Yes, I'm so powerful, so why don't you get out of here? Seeing Mr. Su's fire, everyone at the scene, including the manager, fled. Young Master Su, you are brave, upright, and well done. I am deeply proud to be your little brother. Wang Fuegui was extremely pleased. Shut up. Su Yang stared at Wang Fuegui, his eyes suddenly became sharp, and he asked coldly, Wang Fuegui, where were you when I bulldozed the school 10 days ago? Normally you and I are almost inseparable, why didn't you accompany me that day? School. Worry. Unexpectedly, Wang Fuegui jumped up when he heard this and shouted, Young Master Su, you actually have the nerve to ask, I wasn't just trying to wipe your ass that day. Have you really forgotten, or are you trying to burn down the bridge? Tell me clearly, what's going on? Su Yang frowned. Damn it, just say it, why are you so serious? Wang Fuegui continued, that day, a bulldozer driver had diarrhea and I was going to drive it myself. It turned out that Li Kekai came to trouble you with a baseball bat. You were so frightened that your face turned pale and asked me to deal with her quickly. Young Master Su, look at my face. It's still green now. It's hard work without merit. Wang Fuegui's face was filled with grievances. Li Kekai. Su Yang had the impression in his mind that this girl was the second young lady of the Li family. Her sister Li Feichuan is the fiancée of young Master Su. What does Li Kekai want from me? Do I have any grudge against her? Su Yang asked at this time. Damn, the day before the school was demolished, you knocked out her sister Li Feichuan and gave it to Zhao Wenbin. Do you think you have a grudge against her? Give away your fiancée in a coma? Su Yang remembered, damn, this stupid young Master Su really did such a thing. The cause was a dogfighting bet with Zhao Wenbin, the third young master of the Zhao family. Young Su lost almost all his pants. Under Zhao Wenbin's provocation, he took Li Feichuan as a bet. The result was without exception, young Master Su was defeated miserably. Young Master Su had no other good qualities except that he was willing to admit defeat. He made an appointment with Li Feichuan that night, and then handed her over to Zhao Wenbin after she fainted. Fortunately, Li Kekai came at the critical moment and took Li Feichuan away. Suda, who rarely saw something wrong, ran away long ago and survived. However, when he was pushing to school, Li Kekai suddenly came to the door and wanted to teach De Su a lesson for his sister. In this case, young Master Su definitely couldn't see Li Kekai, so he sent Wang Fuegui to deal with it. After Wang Fuegui left, he drove the bulldozer himself and was flooded with construction debris. If Li Kekai didn't come, Wang Fuegui would drive the bulldozers, and he would be the one who died. And Li Kekai is an uncontrollable factor. The person who designed this situation will not be stupid enough to kill himself. The suspicion of Wang Fuegui can be eliminated. After analyzing this, Su Yang put away his cold aura. Young Master Su, don't say so many useless things. My father is going to beat me to death. You are the only one who can save me now. I helped you block Li Kekai and received a severe beating. You can't burn bridges by crossing the river. At this moment, Wang Fuegui hugged Su Yang's arm tightly, as if grasping the last straw. Two grown men hold on to each other, let me go. Su Yang shook off Wang Fuegui and immediately asked, what's wrong? What happened? Why did your father hit you? He knew it was me who contacted the bulldozer for you and almost killed you. He insisted on beating me to death to make amends to you. Wang Fuegui cried and said, young Master Su, we are good brothers wearing the same pair of pants. You can't just die without saving me. Tiger poison doesn't eat its seeds, why are you so afraid? Your dad won't really beat you to death. Young Master Su, I am not like you. I am the only child in the family, and I have an awesome and coaxing older sister. If your father hits you, your older sister will punch you back in revenge. Wang Fuegui complained, I have two younger brothers who are better than me in all aspects of academic performance. In the eyes of my father, I am a negative example. He beats me without mercy. He just rolls up his sleeves and does it. You are so pitiful. Tell me how I can help you. Su Yang smiled. My dad used to be your dad's adjutant. He respects you very much. And you are also a victim. If you call me to plead for me, my dad will definitely give you this face. Wang Fuegui took out his cell phone and looked at Su Yang with pleading eyes. Su Yang did not refuse and dialed Wang Fuegui's father's phone number. You bastard, where have you been? Come back to me. You can't study properly. You go to the school with young Master Su. Isn't this what a fool would do? The school has invited you to mess with you. It's okay now. The start of school has been postponed. No, the school has been removed from the Education Bureau. Thousands of students have no way to go to school. What I look down on the most is you, a fool who doesn't want to study and disturbs other people's studies. As soon as the call was connected, Wang Baoquan's angrily growl came from inside. Ahem. Su Yang cleared his throat and interrupted, Uncle Wang, I am Su Yang. Su, it turns out to be young Master Su. Just call me by my name. I don't deserve to be called Uncle Wang. Wang Baoquan instantly changed his posture and became respectful. Well, Wang Baoquan, I'm calling to clarify that the matter of raising the school was all my idea and had nothing to do with Wang Fuegui. Su Yang got straight to the point and said, I'm awake now and recovering very well. Don't blame him anymore. Okay, Mr. Su, you recommend the school well. You are really a thoughtful and independent person. That shabby school is like a birdcage, trapping young men and women in their prime all day long. I have long wanted to settle it. Wang Baoquan continued to flatter him and said, I know that Fuegui bastard can't do such a big thing as bulldozing the school to benefit the students. Young Master Su, please take the time to teach him well and let him study more with you. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 7. Good. Su Yang couldn't help laughing, no wonder he could be my father's aide-de-camp. He is definitely a talented person when it comes to flattering. Wang Fuegui's face turned dark and he couldn't help but said, Dad, what the hell? Didn't you just say that it was stupid to bulldoze the school? Why now? Ahem, young Master Su, I have something on hand right now, so I'll hang up first. In order to cover up his embarrassment, Wang Baoquan hung up the phone in a hurry. Bah, my dad is really a double standard, but it seems that I have escaped this disaster. Wang Fuegui breathed a sigh of relief, then hugged Su Yang's arm and said with tears of gratitude, Young Master Su, thanks to you, I love you to death. You are simply my destined male god. It's a pity that I'm not a woman, otherwise I could make you feel better. But, actually, I don't think it's that important whether you're a boy or a girl. Wang Fuegui said with a shy face, Young Master Su, how about I lie down now and cooperate with you? Roll. Su Yang put a black line on his head and shook Wang Fuegui away with all his strength. Damn, this guy is so disgusting. Young Master Su, you are so cruel to others. I originally planned to tell you a secret news, but now it seems that it is not necessary. Wang Fuegui cried. You idiot, if you are disgusting, I will take you abroad for sex reassignment surgery to turn you into a real woman. Su Yang threatened first, and then said calmly, what secret news? Tell me quickly. Hearing Su Yang's words, Wang Fuegui was so frightened that his legs tightened and his body trembled uncontrollably. TCH, you can't even make a joke, it's really boring. Wang Fuegui curled his lips and said instead, Young Master Su, I got news that today is the birthday of my sister-in-law to be, Li Feichuan. She has booked the Joseph restaurant. Many young masters from Jiangbei have gone there. Are we going to join in the fun? No. Su Yang was not interested in this matter and shook his head in refusal. I heard that Zhao Wenbin is also going. He is a fanatical suitor of his prospective sister-in-law. Young Master Su, let's go and have a look. Wang Fuegui continued, speaking of Zhao Wenbin, this kid has made a fortune recently. First I won a lot of money from you, and then I contacted him to contact Bulldozer, and he blackmailed me 2 million. I was so angry. Huh, Su Yang frowned and said, did Zhao Wenbin find the Bulldozer for you? Yeah, I don't have any connections. Zheng Zhou didn't know how to contact me, so Zhao Wenbin took the initiative to send me to my door. Wang Fuegui gritted his teeth and said, this kid is so stupid. He said there are no formal procedures. You will be punished if you demolish the school and you have to pay more. but he asked me for 3 million. I thought it was right. 50 bulldozer drivers came with us to take the risk of demolishing the school. If each of them didn't get 50 or 60,000, who would be willing to do it, so I gave it to them. But later I found out that Zhao Wenbin didn't pay all the money. He only gave 20,000 yuan to each driver, and he himself robbed 2 million yuan. Wang Fugui said angrily, "Young Master Su, you only gave me 2 million at that time. Those 2 million were my coffin books, and they were all swallowed up by that bitch Zhao Wenbin." I asked him for an explanation, but he immediately turned his back and refused to admit his fault, which made my kidneys hurt with anger. When Su Yang heard this, his eyes narrowed slightly. If the bulldozer was contacted by Zhao Wenbin, then this matter should be closely related to him. Also, although Su Yang has not met Li Feixuan is his fiancée after all. Zhao Wenbin, this bitch, had plotted against young Master Su and almost got Li Feixuan by using Li Feixuan as a bet. Now he still dares to think about Li Feixuan, which makes Su Yang very uncomfortable and must go to meet him. With this in his mind, Su Yang smiled softly and said, "Wang Fugui, let's go to Joseph's restaurant." "Xiaomi, Master Su, aren't you going? You are my brother. If Zhao Wenbin dares to cheat you for 2 million, I will definitely step in to get the money back for you," Su Yanji said Bo Yuntian. "Young Master Su, you are so kind to me." Wang Fugui was extremely grateful and flattered him. "You are handsome, you are also loyal, and your appearance and justice coexist. How could there be such a perfect person like you in the world? To be your brother, I must have used up all my luck. Close your anus and go to Joseph's restaurant quickly." Su Yang couldn't stand it anymore and interrupted with a dark face. "He's so good at taking pictures. Being able to flatter someone is an ancestral skill of the Wang family. Each generation is getting better and better." Next, Su Yang and Wang Fugui went to Joseph's restaurant together, and they arrived at their destination around 8 o'clock. Just as he was about to walk in, the receptionist outside the door reached out to stop him. "I'm sorry, the restaurant is booked tonight, please come back," the receptionist said apologetically. "If you blind your eyes, even young Master Su would dare to stop you." Seeing this, Wang Fugui pointed at the receptionist's nose and threatened, "Believe it or not, Master Su has 100 ways to make it impossible for you to stay in Jiangbei. Su, young Master Su." The welcoming lady was so frightened that she collapsed on the ground, crying and begging, "I'm sorry, I didn't know it was you, please let me go. The girl is pretty good looking." "Young Master Su, if you don't let her serve you for one night, you can atone for your sins," Wang Fugui said casually. "Ah, no. Don't." When the receptionist heard this, her face turned pale with fright, and tears welled up in her eyes. "Forget it, it's no wonder if you don't know." Su Yang looked at the welcoming lady, waved his hand and said, "You can go." Thank you, Mr. Su." The receptionist was relieved and ran into the restaurant while wiping her tears. "Young Master Su, this girl can be rated as 8.5. It's rare to meet such a beautiful beauty, and let her go like this. This is not in line with your usual style." Wang Fugui was a little surprised and continued, "If it were in the past, let alone a beauty with a score of 8.5, even a middle-aged woman in her 30s or 40s, as long as it was brought to your lips, you would not let it go easily. How come you have changed your gender now? Middle-aged woman. Damn it. How cruel is this stupid young Master Su? It's so terrifying." Su Yang despised the original host in his heart, but in order to maintain his character, he said, "You know nothing. I'm not afraid of scumbags playing ambiguity, but I'm afraid of young women who are 30 years old. She understands everything you don't understand and knows everything you don't know. She is mature, stable and charming, making people fascinated and intoxicated." Su Yang smiled playfully, the most important thing is that you can move and retract freely without feeling tired at all. Depend on. When Wang Fugui heard this, his eyes suddenly lit up and he said with admiration, incisive, incisive. Young Master Su summed it up really well. My younger brother is so impressed. You still have a lot to learn, so take your time. Su Yang patted Wang Fugui on the shoulder and strode into Joseph's restaurant. Wang Fugui followed closely behind him like a follower. At this moment, Joseph's restaurant, Supreme Box. Although the place was reserved, there were only a dozen or so people in this group of second-generation rich people, and a private room could fit in. The reason why they reserved the place was because they didn't want to be disturbed. Do you know that young Master Su woke up a week ago? His fate is so great that he will be fine even if he is buried in steel and concrete. I heard that the first thing Mr. Su said after he woke up was that it would be good to level the school. He also said that leveling the school was the most correct thing he had ever done. Haha, I've also heard that young Master Su is unrepentant and was imprisoned by his father. He has not been released yet. Your news has been delayed. I just got the news that young Master Su has been lifted from confinement. It is said that he bought a lot of nourishing medicinal materials, and then went directly to Jade Finger Wonderland, and went to a private room with two beautiful technicians in his arms. What happened next we don't know what happened, but the female technician was unconscious and there were a lot of yellow things on the bed. Some people said they were feces. Damn it, you are worthy of young Master Su, so fierce. Several young masters were talking about Su Yang's deeds, which made everyone burst into laughter. At this time, directly opposite the door, at the main seat, was a woman wearing a ginger-colored cheongsam, her eyebrows slightly furrowed. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 8. She has an exquisite appearance, icy muscles and jade bones, and her beauty cannot be overstated. Especially her temperament, which reveals a hint of coldness in her elegance. She is definitely a beauty of the level that brings disaster to the country and the people. She is none other than the eldest lady of the Li family, Li Feixuan. With Li Feixuan's peerless appearance, if she were not Su's fiancée, she would probably have so many suitors that even the fifth-grade pupils could not count them. At this moment, when she heard everyone talking about young Master Su, Li Feixuan's beautiful face revealed a hint of displeasure, and she gritted her teeth and said, "Don't mention Su Yang in front of me, I don't want to hear his name." After hearing this, everyone at the scene closed their mouths. There was a young man in a suit and leather shoes next to him. He stood up and said, "Everyone must have heard about what happened a few days ago. I knew young Master Su was a dandy, but I didn't expect him to be such a bastard. I was just joking and casually said that I would bet on concubine Xian, but he actually agreed." The young man was none other than Zhao Wenbin, and he continued, "Moreover, after losing the game, he really knocked Feixuan out and handed it over to me." Having said this, Zhao Wenbin straightened his tie, and then said seriously, "But I, Zhao Wenbin, am above board, how could I possibly take advantage of others' danger? So I contacted Li Kekai and asked her to bring Feixuan back to the Li family. So this is No wonder Li Kekai arrived in time. Master Zhao is upright and admirable. Ms. Li has conquered the country and conquered the city, and Master Zhao is able to stay calm. He is such a good character." The second-generation rich people around him suddenly realized that they admired Zhao Wenbin highly. "Okay, this is what I should do." Zhao Wenbin raised his hand to suppress everyone's voices, and continued, "Now how much concubine Xian hates young Master Su, you all know it well. Don't mention young Master Su anymore, concubine Xian will be angry. Feixuan, we won't talk anymore. Please calm down. It's not a good time to be angry on your birthday." Zhao Wenbin looked at Li Feixuan and said softly. Concubine Li smoothed her hair in front of her forehead, smiled and said, "Thank you, Master Zhao." Although she expressed her gratitude, Li Feixuan was not interested in Zhao Wenbin. On the contrary, she was a little disgusted. As for the reason, she couldn't explain clearly. In short, she hated Zhao Wenbin from the bottom of her heart. "Hey, what's the relationship between us? You don't have to be polite to me," Zhao Wenbin responded with a smile. Unexpectedly, at this moment, Su Yang and Wang Fuegui walked into the Supreme Box. Su Yang's eyes instantly fell on Zhao Wenbin, and he said lightly, "Zhao Wenbin, what is your relationship?" Swish, swish, swish. In an instant, everyone's eyes fell on Su Yang. "Su, young master Su." Zhao Wenbin was startled, then smiled softly, "Why are you here? Answer my question, what is your relationship with my fiancé?" Su Yang stared at Zhao Wenbin and said calmly. Friend relationship," Zhao Wenbin explained. Snapped. As soon as Zhao Wenbin finished speaking, Su Yang raised his hand and slapped him on the left cheek, and said, "Fuck you, it's just a friend who just said no directly." He said it so vaguely that I even misunderstood him. Su Yang. Zhao Wenbin covered his face, looked at Su Yang resentfully, and gritted his teeth and said, "I know you lost to me in a dogfight, and I feel uncomfortable. If you want to hit me, just say so. No reason." "Oh, what you said makes sense." Su Yang nodded in agreement, and then said, "Then let me tell you now, I will continue to beat you." After saying that, Su Yang raised his hand and slapped Zhao Wenbin hard on the face again. Ah! This slap directly knocked Zhao Wenbin to the ground, screaming in pain. "Su Yang, you've had enough." At this time, Li Feixuan suddenly said, "Today is my birthday. You are not welcome here. Please get out." Hearing this, Su Yang's eyes fell on Li Feixuan and he lost his mind for a moment. Female, Emperor. It turned out to be the Qing Huang Empress. Su Yang couldn't help but picture a scene in his mind. Under the vast starry sky, the Empress, dressed in dazzling clouds, bathed in the starlight and looked unparalleled. Her eyes exuded unparalleled nobility, which could repel others from thousands of miles away. Empress Qing Huang, the ultimate powerful person in the immortal realm, is the goal that immortal Emperor Xiantian has been pursuing all his life. But when he stepped into the imperial realm, he realized how big the gap was between himself and the Qing Huang Empress. In order to get closer to Empress Qing Huang, immortal Emperor Xiantian ventured into the Nine Nether Hell to practice. As a result, he was plotted by several other great emperors in the immortal realm and was trapped in the Nine Nether Hell for hundreds of years. Finally one day, immortal Emperor Xiantian couldn't bear it anymore and chose to self-destruct, and then he was able to be reborn on the earth. "Empress Qing Huang, why are you here?" Su Yang was extremely excited and his breathing became rapid, but after he realized what he was doing, he felt relieved. The Qing Huang Empress is stunningly talented and beautiful, and her strength is astonishing in the past and present. The woman in front of me just looks like her. Su Yang raised a smile on his lips. However, this earth is getting more and more interesting. First, I got the Nine Nether prison suppression secret, and now I meet the replica of the Qing Huang Empress. Su Yang, did you hear what I said? Please leave here." At this time, Li Feixuan gritted her teeth and said, "Sister-in-law-to-be, if you have something to say, please tell me. Young Master Su and I have just arrived and we haven't eaten yet." Wang Fuegui followed in and opened his mouth to smooth things over. "Shut up," Li Feixuan said angrily, "I am not your sister-in-law. Even if I die, I, Li Feixuan, will not marry Su Yang." Ahem. Hearing this, Su Yang touched the bridge of his nose and said, Concubine Qian, don't be so arrogant. I think we can still get along well. I didn't marry the Qing Huang Empress in my last life, so it would be good to marry a pirate in my new life. Su Yang, are you interested?" Li Feixuan stared at Su Yang with her beautiful eyes, gritted her teeth and said, 5 years ago, You forced my best friend, she got pregnant afterwards. Why do you have the nerve to say that you will get along well with me? Tsunema. Young Master Su was so cruel. He also slept with his fiancée's best friend and made her pregnant. No wonder Li Feichuan hated him so much. But this is what young Master Su did. What does it have to do with me, Su Yang? Cough. Su Yang concealed his embarrassment and explained, Feichuan, please listen to my explanation on this matter. Don't say anything, your god of war sister has already explained it for you. Li Feichuan said coldly, she said you were thinking about me. Pregnancy and childbirth are too hard. You are doing it for my own good, so you went to my best friend and asked her to suffer on my behalf. Su Yang, is this what you want? Explain. Damn it. This explanation is invincible, Sister YYDS. Su Yang said shamelessly, ahem, that's what I really thought at the time. You. Brazen. Concubine Li Xian became angrier as she spoke, Su Yang, forget about the past. 5 years have passed and I have almost forgotten it. But a few days ago, you refused to change your ways and even treated me as a bet and lost to Master Zhao. Fortunately, Master Zhao was upright and did not take advantage of others' danger, otherwise I would hate you forever. No, I will hate you forever now and want me to marry you unless I die, Li Feichuan said with firm eyes. Upon hearing this, Su Yang's eyes fell on Zhao Wenbin, whose face was red and swollen. Oh shit! Why is this guy so good at doing things? It was obviously you who proposed to use Li Feichuan as a bet. Young Master Su was so good at gambling that if he lost, he would give Li Feichuan to you, but you turned around and reported it. Are you doing this politely? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 9. Zhao Wenbin was stared at by Su Yang with hair all over his body, and he swallowed in fear. Then, he hurriedly said, well, Feichuan, my dad just sent me a message saying that there was something going on at home and urging me to go home. I'm leaving first. Well, goodbye, Master Zhao. Thank you for calling Kikai that day. Li Feichuan thanked her again. You're welcome. Zhao Wenbin agreed casually, then turned around and left. Stop. At this time, Su Yang said coldly, did I let you go? Young Master Su, if you are willing to admit defeat, isn't it because you lost the dog fight? Are you still targeting me? Zhao Wenbin gritted his teeth and said, if you do this, who in Jiangbei will dare to bet with you in the future? Young Master Su has 2 major hobbies in his life. One is women, the other is gambling. Dog fighting, card playing, and racing are all involved. In the past, young Master Su was a very bad gambler and refused to admit his losses, and he was the #1 young master in Jiangbei. Even if they defaulted on the debt, no one dared to fart one more time. Although they didn't say it on the surface, everyone gradually stopped betting with young Master Su. This made Mr. Su, who was addicted to gambling, miserable. After paying off all the debts, he reintegrated into the gambling circle of the rich young man in Jiangbei. And from then on, young Master Su was willing to admit defeat, never defaulted on his debts, and had a very good reputation. Zhao Wenbin knew Mr. Su's weakness, that's why he said the above words. But young Master Su is no longer the playboy gambler he was before. Snapped. Su Yang waved his hand and slapped him, then sneered, fuck you, who said I targeted you because you lost in a dog fight? 10 days ago, I didn't want to go to school, so I wanted to bulldoze the school, so I paid Wang Fugui to contact the bulldozer. Su Yang stared at Zhao Wenbin, and then said, but I heard that you helped contact the bulldozer. Why yes, there is absolutely nothing wrong with the bulldozer I contacted. Zhao Wenbin's face changed drastically, and he said hastily, What happened to you has nothing to do with me. It's your fault that you can't drive a bulldozer, so you were buried. Seeing the change in Zhao Wenbin's expression, Su Yang knew clearly that it must have been him. However, the Zhao family is just a small family, and Zhao Wenbin is also an unlearned and incompetent person. He will definitely not be able to handle such a big situation. There must be someone else behind it. This person is most likely Su Jinghan, the foster brother of young Master Su. But there was no evidence. Su Yang didn't want to alert the enemy, so he said, I didn't say I had anything to do with you. But, Zhao Wenbin, you are too damn shady. You accepted 3 million from Wang Fugui. Su Yang said impatiently, now I will give you a chance to spit out all the money you have eaten. I will pretend that nothing happened. Otherwise, don't blame me for being rude. Su Yang stared at Zhao Wenbin angrily and said angrily, I am willing to admit defeat, but I am not stupid. No one in Jiangbei dares to hack my money. Seeing this, Zhao Wenbin breathed a sigh of relief, a sneer flashed at the corner of his mouth, but he hurriedly said, I'm sorry, Mr. Su, I didn't know it was you who wanted to contact the bulldozer, so the quotation was higher. I'll transfer the extra money right now, you're stuck. Damn it, Zhao Wenbin, if you agree with what you mean, you can trick me, right? When Wang Fugui heard this, he became furious and gritted his teeth and said, damn it, you're so bullying. Zhao Wenbin ignored Wang Fugui and transferred 2 million to Su Yang through mobile banking, and then said, young Master Su, the money has been transferred, can I leave? Well, that's pretty much it. Su Yang nodded with satisfaction, then looked at Zhao Wenbin with a narrow squint, and smiled softly, now that I have the capital, if I have the opportunity to arrange a dogfight, I will win back all the money I lost to you. When Zhao Wenbin heard this, he originally felt pain because of losing 2 million, but now he felt happy instantly. Dogfighting? Haha. This money-giving boy is going to give me money again. I will win back the 2 million sooner or later. Okay, young Master Su, make an appointment another day. Zhao Wenbin agreed and left Joseph's restaurant in a hurry. Su Yang, you want to cause trouble at my birthday party, right? Okay, I'll call Kikai right now and ask her to deal with you. At this time, Li Feichuan gritted her teeth and said, Kikai. The corner of Su Yang's mouth raised and he said, Fei Xian, do you think I'm afraid of that dead girl? Joke. Now he is the Xiantian immortal emperor, and a girl who knows the three-legged cat kung fu is nothing. Don't make trouble, young Master Su, you are afraid, you are really afraid, let's leave quickly, I don't want to get beaten. However, when Wang Fugui next to him heard Li Kikai's name, he suddenly became frightened and pulled Su Yang and ran out. Su Yang thought about it for a moment, and before he was sure who was plotting against him, he had better protect young Master Su's character. Wife-to-be, I was confused before. From now on, I promise you that I will never do anything sorry for you. Just be prepared to marry me. Su Yang looked at Li Feichuan and said seriously, and then was pulled out of the supreme box by Wang Fugui. He is serious. After Su Yang left, Li Feichuan recalled what Su Yang had just said and was lost for a moment. A few minutes later, outside Joseph's restaurant, in the black Mercedes-Benz. Young Master Su is awesome. These $2 million are all my belongings. I have saved them for a long time. I thought they were all wasted, but I didn't expect you to want them back. Wang Fugui said gratefully, you are indeed my good brother. For the sake of my little brother's money, he generously taught Zhao Wenbin a lesson. It's so cool. Yibo Yuntian, young Master Su, it's great to be your brother in this life. Your transfer record has my card number. Please transfer the money to me quickly, Wang Fugui said happily. Money? Su Yang asked doubtfully, what money? Wang Fugui had a question mark on his face, then smiled bitterly and said, young Master Su, Stop making trouble and give me the money quickly, otherwise I will become a pauper. Seeing Wang Fugui's expression, Su Yang stopped joking and said, I have use for these 2 million, so please leave them here for now. I will pay you back double the amount in a few days. What use can you be? Damn, Mr. Su, you don't really want to fight Zhao Wenbin in a dog fight, do you? Wang Fugui was surprised at first, and then advised, don't, Mr. Su, you will definitely lose. Besides, last time you lost in a dog fight, you stewed and ate the dog you had raised for a year. Now you can't even win the dog without it, how can we compete? Didn't you open a dog farm? I can just pick one from you when the time comes. Worry, Mr. Su, the dogs I raise in my dog farm are all pet dogs, Teddy and Husky. If you want to use it to beat Zhao Wenbin's pit bull, you won't be bitten to death. You don't have to worry about it now. Drive me home. I'm tired. Su Yang lay on the passenger seat and closed his eyes. It's over, it's all over now, the 2 million will be wasted again. Wang Fugui was unhappy, but he still started the car and drove away in a black Mercedes. As Su Yang returned to Su's house, Xiaoting appeared and said respectfully, young master, the master of the house has been waiting for you in the study for a long time. Urban Super Dude. Author, Eagle in the Desert. Chapter 10. New. Su Yang nodded, looked at Xiaoting, and analyzed in his mind. There is a gas in Xiaoting's body that is different from spiritual energy. It should be internal energy, and it is very powerful. Su Yang speculated that Xiaoting's attainments in this area were definitely not weak. But compared to inner energy and spiritual energy, there is a world of difference. Reiki can completely explode the inner energy. There is no way, one practices martial arts and the other cultivates immortality, there is no comparison at all. Although Su Yang was only at the first level of Qi training, he was confident that he would not lose to Xiaoting, and could even defeat someone of Xiaoting's level with a lot of effort. Only, Su Yang didn't know what level Xiaoting's strength belonged to, and how many such masters there were in Jiangbei, so he said insinuatingly, Xiaoting, I want to understand one thing these days. If I knew martial arts, maybe I wouldn't have been buried a few days ago, so I want to learn martial arts. Su Yang looked at Xiaoting and then said, Xiaoting, do you think it's too late for me to practice? It's not too late, it's just that learning martial arts is very hard, and the young master may not be able to persist. Xiaoting was a little surprised and responded truthfully. It's okay, I can endure hardship. Su Yang smiled and said, Xiaoting, you are the captain of the Su family's secret guard. You should be very strong, right? Reporting to the young master, I am just average. Xiaoting's words were very modest, but his expression revealed an arrogant look, and he continued, however, there are no more than 10 people in Jiangbei who are better than me. 10. From this point of view, my current strength can be regarded as the top existence in Jiangbei. Su Yang understood in his heart, and then smiled and said, you are so powerful, you must teach me if you have the chance. Yes. Xiaoting responded respectfully, but did not take Su Yang's words to heart. In his eyes, Su Yang is just a loser who has no knowledge, no skills, and no ambition to make progress. Practicing martial arts is probably just a talk or a 3-minute sensation, so there is no need to take it seriously. Unfortunately, what he didn't know was that Su Yang was now a master who could compete with him. Su Yang naturally saw that Xiaoting's attitude was very perfunctory, but he didn't care. He just wanted to find out if Xiaoting was strong enough in Jiangbei, and he didn't want to learn martial arts from Xiaoting at all. I'm a cultivator of immortality, and I don't care about any of that bullshit internal power. Next. Su Yang strode to Su Shenbing's study and opened the door directly. The moment he entered, he noticed Su Shenbing watching a short movie on his laptop. It's that kind of special little movie with color, and the sound is not turned off, which is very exciting. Who? Sensing someone coming in, Su Shenbing hurriedly closed the computer and looked over cautiously. After discovering that the visitor was Su Yang, Su Shenbing gritted his teeth angrily. "Little bastard, are there any rules? Don't you know how to knock on the door first?" "Sorry, it's my fault. I didn't knock on the door before coming in." Next time Su Yang moved his chair and sat across from Su Shenbing. "Don't knock on the door next time." After hearing his son's words, Su Shenbing's face turned dark with anger. "Dad, what were you looking at just now?" Su Yang asked abruptly, with a playful smile on his face. Cough. Su Shenbing was slightly embarrassed. "I didn't read anything, I was just studying the traditional culture of the enemy country. Only by knowing yourself and the enemy can you be victorious in every battle." Su Yang suddenly realized, "So that's it? Dad, thank you for your hard work. You are still studying hard at this late hour. What does this mean? For the sake of the prosperity of China, it doesn't matter if I work a little harder or a little tired," Su Shenbing said righteously. "Damn it! Where is the face? You can say this kind of thing, Dad, where is your face?" Su Yang quickly changed the topic, otherwise he would really laugh out loud, so he said, "Dad, you asked me to come, what can I do?" "Well, I have something to ask you." Su Shenbing remembered his purpose of looking for Su Yang, stared at Su Yang with a pair of tiger eyes, and asked, "Su Yang, I heard from Xiaoting that you grabbed a lot of medicinal materials today. Who gave you that prescription?" Su Yang had noticed Xiaoting before, so he naturally guessed that the other party would report the medicine to his father, and he already had a countermeasure in mind. "No one gave me a prescription. I just grabbed some medicinal materials and planned to replenish my body," Su Yang said with a smile. "Caught casually. Your prescription has been reviewed by the miracle Dr. Hua Shi Miao Hua. It is top-notch." Even he was amazed. He kept saying that the person who prescribed the prescription was more accomplished in medicine than him. How could he be caught casually? Su Shenbing always stared at Su Yang, his eyes extremely sharp. "Su Yang, you are not hiding anything from me, are you?" "I caught him randomly, maybe it was a coincidence," Su Yang explained. "I guess I was buried under the ruins a few days ago and almost burped. God took pity on me, so I got lucky." "Yeah." Su Shenbing was doubtful, but he still looked away and said calmly, "Forget it, I won't ask further questions. Just prepare yourself and report to the university tomorrow." "What the hell, you still have to go to school?" When Su Yang heard this, he got angry reflexively and said with a wry smile, "Dad, are you kidding me? Be careful, who has time to joke with you? Wow, which school is so bold and dares to accept me? Isn't it afraid of being bulldozed?" Not only did young Master Su not want to go to school, Su Yang also hated school from the bottom of his heart. "I, the majestic Xiantian immortal emperor, can't even be trapped in the 9 nether hells, and now I have to be bound to a shabby school? Are you kidding me? If this spreads to the immortal realm, will I still have the face of the immortal emperor? It's Bauhinia University." Su Shenbing said solemnly, "Su Yang, I have to warn you that Bauhinia University is different from the schools you bulldozed before. This is the top medical school in China. It contains a lot of important experimental data. If you dare to destroy it, even if your grandfather comes forward, he can't protect you." Su Yang smiled bitterly and said, "Dad, can you not go?" "No, not everyone can get into Bauhinia University. Some time ago, I donated 100 million and wanted to give you a new freshman spot, but I was rejected." Su Shenbing continued, "Thanks to Divine Dr. Hua for coming forward this time, you have the opportunity to study inside." "Miracle Dr. Hua," Su Yang frowned and said, "Why did he harm me? No, why did he help me?" "Divine Dr. Hua saw that prescription and thought you have a talent for medicine." Su Shenbing warned, "Divine Dr. Hua is very optimistic about you, little bastard. When you get to school, even if you are just pretending, you must be diligent and studious. Don't let down Divine Dr. Hua, let alone offend Divine Dr. Hua, otherwise I want you to look good. Okay, you go back and have a rest. Go to school early tomorrow. Su Shenbing waved his hand. Nu. Su Yang felt unhappy, but still agreed. At present, I am only at the first level of Qi training and can deal with Xiaoting's level, but when I encounter a more powerful master, I am powerless. Therefore, the best choice now is to stabilize my development and stop wandering. When I have condensed the golden elixir, no one can force me to go to school. Dad, you should go to bed early. After leaving a few words, Su Yang turned around and walked out. Hey, don't worry about me. Although I am very tired now, I can't rest yet. I have to study the traditional culture of the enemy country for a while and try to find out their weaknesses as soon as possible. As he spoke, Su Shenbing showed a righteous and awe-inspiring look, and the haggard look on his face was heartbreaking. But Su Yang, who knew the truth, paused when he heard this. Dad, your face is really thick. If I weren't afraid of embarrassing you, I would really like to borrow one to talk to you.